Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me.
Good morning, everyone. The cool down outside begins. We're going to see 50 degrees starting on Saturday, with lows dropping down to around 34. It's going to get cold again. We had some nice 80-degree temperatures yesterday. Tuesday, I had the windows all open. It was wonderful, and now we're going to get down to cold again because we were incredibly fortunate to have that 80-degree weather in April. That's just how it works. I hope you all are doing well. It's been a pretty good week for me. No major slip-ups, no major foul-ups. The medication that I've started taking and the exercising that I've started to do have made me feel a lot more awake in the morning and more capable of doing things. So in just that short amount of time and just a short 2 days of consistent exercise have helped to pop up my mood. Not that I was in a bad mood, but I was just tired. It's weird because doing exercise seems to give you a lot more energy after a certain point. My arms are sore, but if I go downstairs and I start up again, the soreness will start to go away. So it's a very good motivation to keep going downstairs to make the soreness go away. I've got the Smorey Time. We're gonna get right into it. This is pre-ground. This is the one I bought down in Florida on New Smyrna. They announced them in Publix, I think, last year, and I didn't see them in the Publix around the New Smyrna area. The Publix was carrying it this time on an end cap. So, and it's Smorey Time, which is one of my favorites. The other ones were the fruity ones. 38's good. 35, but 38, we'll fill her up. 500 milliliters of water. That'll do it. That'll get us there. So I was happy to find this, and it was great because it's pre-ground, so I didn't have to bring a grinder with me. Last year, I brought a grinder with me. It was a little Krupp's fin grinder. I don't know the specific technical name for it, but it's like a food processor, except you can use it for coffee or spices. For spices, it seems to make a lot more sense. It's dual-walled, very not noisy. The lid is a pain in the ass to clean. Anyway, so this morning, during my morning hindsight 2020 session, which I always do when I'm taking a shower and brushing my teeth and doing what I usually do in the morning, going back, looking at things that happened in my life, thinking about how I could have done them differently. It's an exercise in futility that we all go through. Some of it stronger than others. I've started to actually talk to myself until I wake up from my daydream realizing that I've been saying stuff out loud. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's probably not a good thing. And I don't know if I've told this story before. It's a very interesting story. If I have friends from my past, specifically in the radio era, that hear this and think I'm talking about you, 9 times out of 10 I am. And sometimes that's not favorably, because back in those days, as opposed to today, there was something that just aggravated the hell out of me, and I'm gonna bring it back up. So at the time, yes, I was probably very angry with you or very upset at you, but today I would hope that such things, after almost 20 years, it's gone. It doesn't exist. If I saw you today, I would give you a hug. There are specific people, and I will bring them up in this story, that I would probably do my best to avoid at all times. But there are some people that I worked with where I didn't understand why you wouldn't do a thing. So let's get into it. Easton Town Center, in its infancy, as it is right now, Easton Town Center is a giant outdoor mall. It's got a town center. I think they used to call it Easton Station. It was very train themed at the very beginning. It was a big hub where it had the movie theater and it had a giant arcade, and then it's got a bunch of other shops all the way around. It had a center area that had food. It had a food area in the open area of it's a very interesting, not very complex, but interestingly designed middle station. And then it's surrounded on all sides by outdoor shops. So your Tommy Bahama is over here, your Tiffany's is over here, your Apple store is like over here, but it's just like a giant area just full of shops. And in its infancy, it had in its main station area, a place called GameWorks. GameWorks doesn't exist anymore. I don't think it's existed for quite a long time. I know it died a slow death at Easton. It started off fairly well. It was more or less an adult bar surrounded by video games of varying types. And it's weird, Dave & Buster's still exists. As far as I know, the one in the other mall has renovated and is somehow still thriving. Food's not great. And the last time I went in there, all of the video games were covered in chicken grease. Unpleasant. Haven't gone back. We'll never go back if I can help it. So GameWorks, you could get food there. I think at first it was just appetizers, and then they got a restaurant. So the upstairs was like the main area where you bought your tickets and tokens and stuff, and then behind that area was the restaurant, and then you went downstairs. So it was a giant 2-story arcade bar at Easton. And right now, I think it's occupied by the Lego store. It's a giant Lego store, and I think it's got a giant Lego ride in it now. And it's huge. It was a huge open area, so I mean, you could put an indoor roller coaster in there, and it would be pretty phenomenal. We're at GameWorks, and I've actually got 2 GameWorks stores. It's really weird. So the beginning of this story is I had just been released from my job at the Blitz. My dear friend Mark, who was head of the promotions department at the time, I reached out to him at Sunny 95, and I said, hey, I was just let go of my job. Do you need any part-timers in the promotions department? And I don't know if he really did or not, but he hired me. He said, come on, let's get you going. We'll get you steady work going. Because Mark Buckingham, and I'll name him, is one of my favorite people. He will always be one of my favorite people. And I care very much for that man. He's always helped me. He's always been there for me. He's one of the few people in a business industry that has been there for me consistently and constantly. And I will always be grateful for what he did. And always be grateful for getting my second run at Sunny 95 and my longest run, because I think I was there for like 2.5 years at the beginning after college. And then I came back after 2 years at 99.7 The Blitz and started working there and was there for like a solid 6.5 years. So let's start a blooming phase going here. We've got a little bit more coffee than normal. So we'll get her up to about 100 I was going to do about 150, I think. Yeah, that's good. We'll let her soak for a little bit. Immediately, wonderful. Maybe I should have gave him some Smorey Time. Sorry, I just keep thinking back at Tim and what I could have done differently to introduce coffee better. I think he got the best of what I had to offer. Anyhow, so I was released from the Blitz. I reached out to my friend Mark, who worked at Sunny. Mark said, come on over. We'll get you going. Don't worry. And it was part-time work. It was sporadic, but it was consistent, and I got a paycheck for it. So I worked for the promotions department over there, and I was pretty fresh off of the Blitz train because I worked for promotions over there. And if you wanted to ever meet a nicer set of DJs back in the day, the DJs from early 2000s, the Blitz, were some of the most fantastic, kind, thoughtful people to me ever. Ronnie Hunter, who is still working there. Scoop, I think he was middays after Howard Stern, because Howard Stern would go until like 9, I think, because Ronnie was nights. And then Blazer was another one of the good ones. Blazer was absolutely fantastic. I was thin enough at a point where I would actually get confused with Blazer because he always had platinum blonde flat top, or not really flat top, it was more rounded. And then one day I decided I was gonna go full platinum flat top. And there were points where we were driving around in the Blitz Hummer where I would get confused for him, which was absolutely hilarious because he was a buff dude. He really was. He probably still is. I have not seen him in years, but he was a pretty buff dude. He worked out. There are a lot of stories there that were a lot of fun that I can talk about later. But anyway, so I just gotten through my Blitz phase, So it's not like I was cocky by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a way of doing things where I knew shit could get done. So I just, because in that environment, it's very fast paced. I didn't feel like I had to worry about the DJs because the DJs knew exactly what they needed to do. It was more about corralling the listeners. And in this terminology, maybe a little shocking to some people who have won stuff off of a radio station. And generally, it was just towards specific people that we would call prize pigs. Just specific people, maybe like 20, 25, 30 people in the group that would constantly and consistently show up to all of our promotions and just for the prizes. And it could be a keychain. It could be a Blitz keychain, that could be it. And it was really strange. And then I found out when I got to Sunny 95, they called them the same things over there. So, in secret. So I'm fresh off of the Blitz. We were doing a promotion at GameWorks, and it's probably like my third or fourth promotion with the group. And we're in there and we're getting stuff set. We've gotten everything set up. The DJ that was there has done two maybe prize giveaways, breaks. I look over and I see the promotions lead for that, and she's just looking really upset. And I'm like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And she said, "I wish the DJ would stand up when she's doing her talk into the microphone. I wish she would represent the station rather than sitting at the bar and just picking up the microphone and not even turning around apparently to look at the crowds. Just sitting there at the bar with the microphone with her then boyfriend and just doing her thing." And me, being me, not thinking about the fact that maybe here it's a little differently, but I know better. I know it's not, because Mark Buckingham would not allow a DJ to sit and do all of the work that they're supposed to do at a promotion. They would be standing. At the very least, they would be standing to do their giveaways. That's just standard procedure. There are allowances for people that are tired. There are allowances for people that have problems with their legs or their knees or their hips. Allowances. All of those allowances are given. But if you are capable and able, you should be standing to do your piece to the audience. That's just the way it is. So I saw that and I'm like, "Well, why don't you go down and talk to her?" And she said, I can't. I don't want to upset her." And I'm like, "Okay." So here's the part I kind of omitted. I was there in a costume situation. So I was dressed up as their mascot, Mr. Sunny. Mr. Sunny is a giant sunhead. I'll flash a picture up. He's a giant sunhead. He's got spandex on underneath his shorts, and underneath his shirt, he's wearing a radio station logo shirt. He's got red Chuck Taylors on, and I think he had at that point an orange pair of shorts and gloves. So, I was skin totally covered. You could not tell male or female or other. It was an incredibly uncomfortable uniform that at the end of the day, you took off and hope that they laundered, because the next person is going to be very upset that they have to put this thing on. So I'm in the Mr. Sunny outfit, and I have to take prizes down to them so that they can do the next giveaway. So I'm in my Mr. Sunny uniform, and when I'm in Mr. Sunny uniform, I don't talk. I'm always happy. I'm always bouncing. I'm excited to be there. And that was pretty easy to do because nobody could see my face or watch me calling them bad words as I passed them. So, it was an absolutely fantastic job in hindsight. So I go down there. I give the prizes. She's not with anyone at that point. So I lean over and I said, "Hey, I was wondering if you would be able to stand up when you do your giveaways rather than sitting at the bar, just so, people can see you stand up." And she snapped at me. She said, "I'm doing this for free. I'm not standing up. I'm doing this for free." And I'm like, "What difference does that make? The promotions person is just asking you to stand up when you're doing your talk to the audience." I said, okay, all right, whatever. I just wanted to relay that to you. And I made it clear without even trying, the promotions person who is on point here is just looking for you to stand up. That's it. When you're doing that, give that small amount of effort. But because she felt she was doing this for free, which I don't even know what the hell that means, I assumed that it was just a free gimme from the salespeople to GameWorks in order to keep their business. Sometimes they did value-added stuff to commercial sales. So, maybe you get 2 free appearances if you spend this much money in this time block or whatever, that kind of a thing. This was one of their free appearances, apparently. So I said, okay, and I walked away, and I went back upstairs. I didn't say anything to the point person because it's like, well, if she's not going to stand up, I don't know why we should even have the conversation that I went down and told her that. If nothing's going to come of it, let's just get through this. We'll do our 2 hours and we'll leave. And it was only 2 hours. That was all it was. It was just 2 hours. So I'm standing at the top of the stairs. I'm with some little ones. We're kind of dancing, we're having fun. I think I'm giving them some free tokens so that they could have a couple of free plays downstairs. And up comes her boyfriend at the time. And I guess I should preface this as well. The boyfriend was the morning show producer for Sunny at the time. And now you can kind of see why I prefaced all of this at the very beginning with saying, it might be a little different. I'm going to tell you right now, with Steve, it is not. I would probably do my best to actively avoid him wherever I go. And it's mainly because of this incident. This incident soured me so bad and made me so upset that I probably would not actively seek him out if I saw him in a crowded room, because it was just that aggravating. It wasn't traumatic. It was just aggravating. He bound up the stairs. And mind you, big sunny head, shirt, everything, entertaining children, grabs me by my collar and tells me that I should never speak to his girlfriend like I spoke to her again. Says, we're here for free. Mind you, he's not part of the promotion. There is no we in this promotion. It is her gig representing the station. He is not representing anything. He is not there in an official capacity. He is there to bum free drinks off of the bar. That is what he's there for. Because they were kind enough to give us access to that kind of a stuff while we're there. Just, probably not top shelf shit, but, something well, more than likely. And it's in the middle of everything. There's the place where people pick up their tokens there. There's the restaurant over here. There's a kid surrounding me here. And this asshole grabs me by my shirt collar and says, don't ever speak to my girlfriend like that again. We're here for free. She can sit if she wants. And I'm like, in my Mr. Sunny uniform. So I'm not talking. I can't talk. And quite frankly, at that point, I refused to talk because I was so angry. Then he turned around and went back downstairs, and the last hour was just them passively aggressively giving away prizes, and then they left. And the promotions person that's on point, who quite frankly should be protecting the person that's in the outfit, because I've only got vision here. I don't have vision around here. I don't have vision behind me. All I've got is mesh that I can see out of here. She didn't do anything. She didn't say anything. She didn't apologize. She didn't do a damn thing. Nothing was done. She didn't control the person. She didn't go downstairs and admonish the DJ. She just stood there silently. Another thing that probably the reason I've only ever saw her was this past Christmas, and it was very, I don't know. I worked for her for several more years with her, not for her, but with her for several more years. And I did it with a lot of bile because of this exact moment, because she did not stick up for me. She did not stick up for the station. She did not stick up for the costume. She did not say that was inappropriate to do in front of the children, in front of the business, in front of everyone at Easton. And it was a full grab and pull towards. And he yelled right into the Mr. Sunny mouth. We get back to the station. I'm not speaking to her as we're driving because I'm with the point person because I did not drive there. We drove the station vehicle. I did not speak the entire drive home. I don't think I looked at her. I don't think I did anything. I got to the station. We parked the car. We put everything away. I signed out. I texted Mark. I said, Mark, I don't think I want to work here anymore. And he texted back, because I'm going to say that during the whole confrontation, the promotions assistant that was there texted Mark to say, this is happening right now. I don't know what to do. So he texted me back saying, talk to me tomorrow. Please don't quit. Talk to me tomorrow. I'm like, okay, fine. I will. So I went in the next day. Apparently the morning show producer was disciplined. I don't know. I love the morning show. I was his backup producer for a couple years until they removed him and then brought in another producer. And that's a whole nother story. I think I've told that story. That story is long. And so anyway, so that's a story. I would assume that she would have had a talking to as well, but I never had a DJ or any other promotions. I was the point promotions person when I worked at the Blitz, when we went out and did things. So I'd never been treated that way by talent. I'd never been treated that way by talent's boyfriends, regardless of their position at the radio station. I've never been abandoned by my other on-point person like that. It was just so surreal and insane to me. And I'm like, is this what this is? Because if I can't tell a person to stand up when they need to stand up for a promotion, then this is the pushback that I get. This is not for me. And I said, and he's like, we'll take care of it. Please don't quit. We need the help. I'm like, well, I'm here to help, but I'm not working with either one of them again in any kind of capacity where I'm going to have to approach them and tell them to stand up or do anything. And he understood. He understood. And he was very upset and frustrated. So, coffee makes it better. Such a nice, tasty coffee. Smorey Time. Marshmallowy. What does this say on the back? I think it's like marshmallow and woods. It's a marshmallow flavor with a hint of sweet graham cracker and chocolate. You can say something tastes like graham cracker and be like, I guess it's there. It's all relative and weird. The marshmallow is definitely there. There's a delicious and it doesn't really taste like, there are no marshmallow trees, so there's no such thing as a natural marshmallow flavor. So it's not so artificial it tastes like chemicals marshmallow. It's very pillowy, marshmallowy kind of taste. And it's toasted because it's roasted coffee. So that's an easy one right there. And then chocolate, because coffee does a chocolate thing, man. What are you after? So thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Come here. Huh? Oh, Indy will come. Here she comes. I hope you have a great weekend. I really appreciate everyone watching, everyone putting up with my stories. That one's a harrowing one. I relive that one every couple of months. Just because it was just so shocking and so surprising. It's like, how do you treat someone that is there to support you like that? What a terrible thing to do to another human being, let alone someone who is there to help you. And they made the station look terrible. That day, it's a wonder GameWorks had us come back, because they made the station look terrible. Sitting at a bar, 7095 is not a bar radio station. It's a Lululemon Von Maur playing when the piano's not playing station. It's an upscale woman's driven radio station. So it's very frustrating and aggravating. And it's a story I like to tell because it's almost cautionary. If you come into something gung-ho, wanting to make it work and wanting to make it work properly and look great, understand why the promotions person on point is not going down there to do that, because maybe she's been bullied by her boyfriend before. when she's asked to do something and then not say anything about it. And that shouldn't be tolerated. And it wasn't tolerated. And I didn't work with them at all for the rest of their time at the radio station. I think I worked with Merlin like twice, and luckily I was in the Mr. Sunnyhead at the time, so I didn't really have to interact with him, which was nice. But I don't think he ever apologized. I know she didn't apologize for how they acted. Mark is the only one that apologized to me for the radio station. So I'm never going back there, so I don't have to worry about it. That's just how it is. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you on Tuesday. Be safe. Have fun. Hopefully you get more sun than we do. Bye.